If you're thinking about selling a home, then you are in the right place, because in this video, I'm gonna give you 5 things you definitely don't wanna do as a seller. Hey, welcome back to Living in Minnesota. My name is Joe Carmack. I'm an agent in the Twin Cities, and I love giving help for folks thinking about buying or selling a home. So make sure to subscribe, find all my contact info down below. And if you have a question that I didn't answer, make sure to put it in the comments below and I'll get you back. All right, don't number 1 for my sellers is going to be, don't hire a confused agent. Now, here's what I mean by this. Anybody can sell a house. If it was just a matter of you being able to get the home sold, frankly, I would tell you just go do it yourself, okay? Most agents just view their job as getting their home sold, right? That's not the case. They're confused. They don't really understand what this profession is about. And to be honest, I really hate that there's so many bad agents in this industry. You know, you can probably relate in your field of work. But as far as a confused agent, my job is really 2 things. It's to market your house so that we can get you the most money possible in the least amount of time with the least amount of headache and hassle, okay? And it's also to negotiate the best terms all throughout that contract. So if it was just a matter of getting the home sold, you or anybody else could do it. But the reality is you got to hire an agent that's really, really focused. They've got a great marketing plan. They're a really strong negotiator. You're confident that they're not just going to get the house sold, but they're going to get it sold with the best terms, in the least amount of time, with the least amount of headache to you. While we're on the topic, one more thing I will mention is about 90% chance you're already going to be paying a buyer's agent's fee, even if you didn't hire an agent. So you should just be aware of that. And the reality is a great agent's only got to offset your net dollar by about 3%. So that's 3% better marketing, 3% better negotiating, 3% less hassle and headache for you than you doing it yourself. So it's really, really worth your time. Hire a great agent and not just any Joe Schmo. Don't for sellers number 2 is going to be, don't be unrealistic on your listing price. Now, a lot of sellers think, okay, my house is worth $400, so we're gonna just list it for $425 and see what happens, right? That's a terrible plan in all reality. Just think of it like this. If you, if you're going to a store and you wanna buy something and it's been sitting there at the same price forever, you're not going to offer full price, right? It's not worth that to you. The reality is when buyers out there, they're gonna see your property, it's gonna come on the market, they're going to feel like it's worth $400,000 and they're gonna be curious why you're charging $425. And so in this current market, if it's overpriced by more than, $5,000 or $10,000 typically, they're going to just dismiss it completely, or they're gonna have expectations that are so high that if they actually go and see the property in person, it's gonna feel like a letdown most of the time. So then all of a sudden they're gonna see your property, no one's gonna be interested or making offers, they're not lowballing you right now. So the idea that you can list it for $425 and then negotiate down to $410, it just doesn't happen in today's market right now. In reality, you will do showings, buyers won't be impressed, they won't make offers, and then it's gonna sit there on the market for a while, then it's gonna become a stale listing. Then what do you think is gonna happen if you as the buyer, you're looking at homes online and you've got all these that are coming on the market and they're selling real fast, and then you've got this other one that's been sitting there for 3 weeks at $425, they're going to assume there's something wrong with it. So then they may or may not go see it, but it's not gonna be top of their list. And then when they do, their interest level is going to be so much lower, their motivation is going to be so much lower. They're certainly not going to be thinking they're going to have to compete for this home, which is going to definitely hurt you in the long term, okay? They will give you way worse offers at that point. The crazy thing is actually, if you price your home at your $400 or maybe slightly under, whatever we think that value is, buyers are gonna have the opposite response. They're gonna think, hey, this is a great property, seems like a great deal, we should go see it right now. And they're gonna hurry up, they're gonna make a showing, they're gonna come see your property, they're probably gonna love it, they're gonna feel like, man, this seems like a great property and a great price, so we should put in an offer. And then you have a bunch of buyers doing that, ideally, and then it's going to drive that price up and up and up. So in reality, you price that home, at $400, it feels like a bargain, they'll offer you $310 maybe. Versus if you put it at $425, you're gonna string out your showings, you're gonna make it a huge hassle for yourself over a longer period of time. And then you're maybe gonna be lucky to end up at that same number anyways. Most likely, it'll even be less. Don't for sellers number 3 is gonna be, don't leave those little things unfinished. Now, if you've got some little things that, a leaky faucet or just your kid, not like mine or anything, but what's, smeared handprints across the wall or something and you could just repaint it easily, my recommendation would be just get it fixed. If you've got the means to do so, just take care of those things. Every seller has always said, I just want to sell it as is. I just don't want to do anything. I just want to leave it as is. Perfectly makes sense, but the reality is they also don't like the price that they're going to get if they do just leave it as it is. And so the vast majority of the time, buyers are going to be able to see themselves in your home a lot more easily. They're going to see your home as something that's been well taken care of that they don't have to worry about. You might know that you've taken great care of your home, but it's that feeling we have to convey to the buyers if you really want to get a premium offer and if you really want to sell it as quickly as possible. So do the little things. I always meet with my sellers and I'll let them know which things are going to get you the best return on your investment. I'm not talking spending tens of thousands of dollars, but I am saying lots of little things will add up in a buyer's mind. So if you can take care of them in advance, you're definitely going to help yourself in the long run. Seller don't number 4 is going to be try to be as accommodating as possible for buyers. Now, if we're in a really hot summer market and it's a seller's market, the reality of that may mean just give us the weekend and we'll have your home sold. And that's a fairly common scenario. Again, just getting the home sold is only half the half of my job. But for sellers, what I tell them is easiest generally is to plan a little trip. Plan on going and seeing your sister in Wisconsin or wherever. Take the kids to the Great Wolf Lodge or something. If you can give us the house for the weekend, typically in a hot market, that'll be all it will take, okay? If things do string into the week, for example, you really want to be as accommodating as possible. When buyers are scheduling their showings, their agent's probably getting them booked for 2, 3, 4 different properties. And it's pretty difficult to map where they have to start from, what time they've got, how long it's going to take at each property, and the drive times. So we're really doing Tetris trying to fit in these different properties into the buyer's schedule. So if one isn't available at that time, we're probably still going to go see all of the other properties, and maybe we'll get back to yours at some point in the future if we can, okay? In reality, if the buyer liked one of those other homes, they're probably just going to make an offer on one of the other ones and miss out on yours. So it can be inconvenient, but generally being as accommodating as possible is definitely going to help you out in the long run. Seller don't number 5 is one I'm probably going to step on some toes with, but it needs to be said. And that's going to be don't fall for the guaranteed offer gimmicks. Now, there's a whole number of companies out there. I'm not pointing any fingers at any specific agents you may have seen driving around town. But I am saying if you're a business owner and you're guaranteeing that you'll make an offer on someone's home, the question is going to be, are you going to make the premium offer of top dollar, or are you going to make an offer that, absorbs some risks and puts a profit margin in your pocket? And I think we all know the answer to that question. So I kind of jokingly say, I'll make you an offer on your house right now. How about $10? And sellers look at me like I'm stupid, and I get it, but then all of a sudden they have that aha moment of, okay, obviously the point is, if the offer is low enough, anybody would make that offer. And so just because someone says they'll guarantee you an offer doesn't mean it's a good one. And it certainly doesn't mean that they're going to have your best interest at heart with that offer. So again, to my earlier point, you're hiring an agent that will market your home so that they can get you the highest terms, the best terms, and do it in the least amount of time possible. Just because many different agents will give you this guaranteed offer idea doesn't mean that that's going to support your best interest and your bottom line. So hiring an agent that does their job really well will accomplish what you're looking to accomplish, and it will get you the highest dollar amount possible. Back to our previous example, if your home's worth $400,000, we're thinking, very potentially, what if we could sell it home for $425,000? It's a pretty common scenario, and so would you regret accepting a guaranteed offer that's at $400,000, knowing that you potentially could have made $25,000 for a weekend's worth of hassle? The reality is the vast majority of people would say yes. And so that's why the guaranteed offer platform hasn't gotten a lot of traction. Quite honestly, Zillow actually just went out of business doing this. And it's because it generally just does not make sense to sellers. So do what you'd like to do, but do your homework, see what they're actually going to offer, and then see how much more money you could potentially make selling it on the traditional market, and if that's worth the hassle to you. Most people would say it is. All right, that's it for my 5 don'ts for sellers. If you're thinking about selling, would love to give you a free valuation or schedule a seller's consult so you can just understand the process start to finish with absolutely no strings attached. So you can find links to all my contact info down below. Call me, text me, email me, whatever works best for you. You can also go to jcarmack.com and request that valuation, and I would love to help you out. Here's another great video you can check out, or a whole playlist we've put together for people selling their homes in Minnesota, and I'll see you on the next one.